Call to order for the St. John Town Council meeting, December 18th, 2024. Could we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We keep standing for just a moment, and maybe keep in mind the families in Madison, Wisconsin with that terrible tragedy, just for a moment of silence. Thank you. You may be seated. Roll call, Beth.
Gerald Swets.
Present.
Christian Jorgensen, absent. Mike Bovat.
Here.
Wayne Pondinas.
Present.
Ann Oster.
Present.
Bill Manasopoulos.
Here.
Joe Svetnoff.
Here.
And Beth Hernandez, present.
Thank you, Beth. Item 4, public comment. There's no public comment for this meeting. No one has signed up. Item 5, approval of minutes. November 21st, 2024, Town Council minutes. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the minutes from November 21st, 2024.
I'll second.
I have a motion. I have a second. Beth, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Gerald Swets.
Yes.
Mike Bovat.
Yes.
Wayne Pondinas.
Yes.
Ann Oster.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. Item 6, agenda items. A, financial matters of the corporation. Request to purchase. There are a total of 5 requests to purchase and a combined total of $61,884.50 for approval. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I'll second.
I have a motion. I have a second. Beth, could we have a roll call again, please?
Gerald Swets.
Yes.
Mike Bovat.
Yes.
Wayne Pondinas.
Yes.
Ann Oster.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. Number 2, accounts payable voucher dated December 18th, 2024, representing payment for payroll supplies, services, and equipment rendered to the town of St. John in the combined total of $2,955,723.37. Do I have a motion to pay the voucher?
So moved.
I'll second.
I have a motion. I have a second. Beth, could we have a roll call, please?
Gerald Swets.
No.
Mike Bovat.
Yes.
Wayne Pondinas.
Yes.
Ann Oster.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-1. B, ordinances and resolutions. Motion to adopt ordinance 1848, an ordinance repealing town ordinance number 1721, being an ordinance establishing a road impact fee for the town of St. John, Lake County, Indiana, for the purpose of planning and financing road infrastructure improvements to serve new developments in the town, and amending town ordinance number 1719, being an ordinance regulating the construction, alteration, repair, location, and use of building rules, codes, and standards required to be enforced under the provisions of Indiana Code 36-7-2-9 as amended from time to time, providing for the issuance of permits, providing penalties for violations, and repealing all ordinances or parts thereof in conflict herewith on second reading. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to adopt ordinance 1848.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion. I have a second. Beth, could we have a roll call, please?
Gerald Swets.
No.
Mike Bovat.
Yes.
Wayne Pondinas.
Yes.
Ann Oster.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-1. Number 2, motion to adopt resolution 2024-12-18. A resolution of the town of St. John, Lake County, Indiana, by and through its town council opts out of the establishment of a merit system for the St. John Metropolitan Police Department pursuant to Indiana Code Section 36-8-3, 5-55. Do I have a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Do I have a
I'll
second?
second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Beth, could we have a roll call, please?
Gerald Swatz,
Can I get a better description of exactly what this is and if it's actually come through the Board of Safety recommendation?
Councilman Sweats, this is a resolution opting out of, there was a requirement put in place this year through the legislature to either opt out of establishing either a fire merit board or a police merit board system. I've talked with town officials on this, and their feeling is they want to continue with our police commission. So we have to opt out by the end of the year to make sure that a merit board is not put in place automatically by the state of Indiana. So this is our assurance that we will keep our police commission. I've talked with the chief and I've talked with officials here, and they feel confident they want to stick with the police commission right now as a way to govern the police department. So that's kind of the description on why we're doing the resolution and we're opting out of it.
Okay, so has this gone to the Police Commission yet for
No,
approval?
it has to pass here first, and they're gonna call a special meeting.
Okay,
regarding it. But this is the first step in that process.
okay, thank you.
Anything else, Jerry?
Nope, that's all.
Thank you, Joe.
So I vote yes.
okay, thanks. So we've got Mr. Swatz is yes, Mike Bovat,
Yes.
Wayne Pondinas,
Yes.
Ann Oster,
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. Thank you. Town council action number 7. 1, consider St. John Township fire contract for the year 2025. Do I have a motion?
Mr. President, Trustee LaRue is here and for a comment.
I
She walked
apologize.
in after.
Trustee LaRue, I did not see you. I apologize.
Okay, I just walked in, so,
Okay.
you know what, I'd just like to come so that if you have any questions about the agreement, you know, I'm here. Just so you know, the agreement is exactly the same as last year, with the exception that I was able to give a 3% increase in the payment from last year to this year. I have a fire levy that I have to stay within, that's how these agreements and contracts are paid. So I can only go as high as 3%.
Very good.
But I think it's a great partnership, I appreciate all of you, and, so if you have any questions, just let me know.
Well, I had been in contact, I had spoken personally with Billy, and I know he was in correspondence with you, so I felt very comfortable with it, so. Anyone else have any questions or comments?
I do not.
All right, thank you, Ms. LaRue.
All right, thank you.
All right, do I have a motion to approve the contract?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Support.
I have a motion, I have a second. Ms. Beth, can we have a roll call, please?
Gerald Swatz.
Yes.
Mike Bovat,
Yes.
Wayne Pondinas,
Yes.
Ann Oster,
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. Number 2, consider first group engineering agreement for the multi-use path in an amount not to exceed $404,500. Do I have a motion? Or,
I was, if anybody has any comments on what the particular project is.
First, could you turn your microphone on? And then if you can, just give a little recap of what our plans are. You're on now.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
Okay. So this multi-use path is on Joliet Street from 96 down to Parish Avenue. It'll be minimum 8, most of the way is gonna be 10 feet. We're planning on for construction of next year. However, because there's some railroads and some other odds and ends going on in there, the path won't be complete from end to end. There'll be some gaps, mostly at the railroad tracks. But this project will include phasing to work with the railroad right-of-way and get them to design paths within their right-of-way. So that will come at a later time. Usually, it's not going to happen within a year, not without a design first.
And again, this is a big project and one that's long needed. We've all seen the kids in the street riding their bikes, people jogging. So this is finally making room, especially with, you know, the growth of the town and how many cars are now on Joliet. It wasn't thought of 100
and it
years ago.
ends at 96th because from 96th to 41, they already have sidewalks.
Correct.
I know personally, I've heard a lot of commentary about needing a sidewalk and with the kids and all, buses going up and down through there. I mean, it is much needed. Do you kind of have, could you comment at all about a timeline on what you think this looks like?
So we'll plan on designing it this winter. We're gonna survey it. I told them it's getting signed today. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a surveyor out there tomorrow morning. But we'll design it this winter. We'll probably bid April-ish, maybe in May, get most of the path constructed next year. And then the railroad timeline can be anywhere from like 1 to 5 years. We have to deal with 2 different railroad right-of-ways. So it kind of depends on what their availability is to design, or if they tell us to go find somebody pre-qualified to get that design. And so I don't see it being the full 5 years, but I have told Billy that you can't push the railroad.
Understood.
So,
I've heard that also.
right, so by the end of next year, we should have a path from the roundabout all the way down to 96th with small gaps in between that maybe the kids will have to come out to the roadway while crossing the railroad tracks.
And have you done anything similar to this, Evan? I mean,
So a similar I've been working on multiple multi-use paths, this real big thing in the last 6 weeks since I started in 2018. So I have a couple of paths in East Chicago I've worked on. This particular project, we're kind of designing it off of a job down near Indianapolis that we did with the bike path's going to be closer to the roadway, divided by a center curb or potentially a regular curb and gutter. So yeah, this is something we've done before.
good to know. Appreciate that input. Any other questions or comments?
No, this is, if you look at the Northwest Indiana bike path
Yep.
map, Joliet Street is the way through St. John. And it makes sense to get this going and continue was started years ago. So it's a good idea.
All right. Considering the agreement for first group for the multi-use path, do I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Beth, could we have a roll call?
Gerald Swatz?
Yes.
Mike Bovat?
Yes.
Wayne Pondinas?
Yes.
Ann Oster?
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. And again, thank you, Evan. Number 3, consider Robinson Engineering Task Order number 24-08 for 2024-2 Community Costing Matching Grant resurfacing in the amount not to exceed $260,000. And we have Mr. Dave Schilling here from Robinson. Dave, could you comment on this?
Thank you, Mr. President. At the last page of the task order is the map of the streets that were already awarded to the town by NDOT from the July application. We've actually already completed all of the field work. Once this is signed, I do want to send our sub-consultant out to get some soil borings and pavement cores, especially on Blaine, since it's one of the older streets, we don't quite know what the pavement thickness is. Once that's done, we'll get it through QA and out to bid, and we'll be, similar to last year, we'll be one of the first out of the gate once construction season starts.
And we've kind of like been focusing on having that to be done a little bit more in the summer. Has that been working out?
Yeah, the idea is if we can be one of the first to start, hopefully if the contractor keeps going, we can have the workers off the street by the time school starts and buses and drop off and stuff like that.
I would personally like to say, as a bus driver for Hanover, we always do appreciate that when the construction is done. And I know the kids and the families do also. This has really kind of been a shift and a change for the town to start having this construction done in this time frame. And I know Robinson's been very helpful with us in getting that accomplished. Thank you for that. Any other questions or comments on that?
I do. On this 260,000, is this additional construction cost or is this all engineering?
This is not to exceed amount, this is all for engineering.
Okay.
All right. Do I have a motion for Robinson Engineering Task Order 24-08 for the crossing matching grant?
So moved.
I have a
I'll
motion.
second.
And I heard Wayne. I have a second. Beth, could we have a roll call?
Gerald Swatz?
No.
Mike Bovat?
Yes.
Wayne Pondinas?
Yes.
And Ann Oster?
Yes.
Motion carries 3-1.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Item 4, consider milestone change order number 1, increasing the Kyleman Street and School Street project by $33,746 for a project total of $469,883.39.
Mr. President, this one is actually a number error on my part. On 3/27, at the March 27th meeting, the council actually approved that 469 number. However, on my part, I allowed the contract to only be signed for the base bid. That 469 is actually the base bid and the alternate bid at that time. So this change order is just to correct everything for the accounting numbers. So this isn't any actual money. You guys in March did approve this dollar. The change order is just to make sure everybody's accounting lines up.
And we
Right.
did check on our end. He is correct with motions.
Okay. Thank you for that, Evan. Any other questions, comments? All right, Beth, could we have a roll call for considering milestone change order number 1 for Kyleman?
Do you have to get a motion first?
Did I not get that?
I don't think so.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Roll call, please, Beth?
Gerald Swatz?
Yes.
Mike Bovat?
Yes.
Wayne Pondinas?
Yes.
Ann Oster?
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. Thanks again, Evan. Number 5, consider milestone change order number 2, increasing the Kyleman Street and School Street project by $6,817.39 for a project total of $476,700.78.
This was for some additional undercuts and for some drainage work on the project. It's a positive change order. However, the job went so quickly that I made this change order in week 2 we were only out there for about 5 weeks. So it's a positive change order, but so the council knows the final number the job is going to come in at is $429,620.20. So again, the change order is more of accounting than anything. It's to make the numbers match, but we are under on the job.
Outstanding. It's good for me. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Beth, can we have a roll call?
Gerald Swatz?
Yes.
Mike Bovat?
Yes.
Wayne Pondinas?
Yes.
Ann Oster?
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. Item 6, consider Accelerate Indiana Municipalities AIM membership for the year 2025 in the amount of $5,647. And I'd just like to comment that I know that this is a statewide program. I was extremely fortunate as a newly elected official in January to go down and get exposure to a lot of the training they have for the local members that get elected. And I just want to say it was an outstanding experience and glad that we have these opportunities to be involved. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion. I have a second. Beth, can we have a roll call?
Gerald Swatz?
Yes.
Mike Bovat?
Yes.
Ann Oster?
Yes.
Wayne Pondinas?
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. Item 7, consider special exemption for the use and construction of an electronic billboard sign in the US 41 Overlay District, 10500 Wicker Avenue. This is having a favorable recommendation from the BZA. Sean, is it?
Yes.
Sean?
Morning, Counselor. Sean Pettit. I'm the real estate manager for Lamar Outdoor Advertising, 9900 Georgia Street in Maryville, Indiana. We had proposed to the town through a lease agreement, a 10-year lease, to construct a 10.5 by 36 foot, 45-foot overall height steel monopole billboard on the lift station property that the town of St. John owns. Mr. President, I believe either you or Bill have the lease agreement. It's a 10-year lease that will pay an annual land rental to the town of St. John. And then the billboard, the digital component, we run 8 10-second slots. There's no motion, there's no explosion. It's static panels. I'm sure you've seen a lot of them. To my credit, to our credit, we have 156 of these digitals running in the Chicago, Northwest Indiana market. So I'd be happy to answer any questions that the council may have.
You want to have any questions or comments?
No, I think there's a reason why this required a special exemption, an exception from the BZA, because I don't think that this board belongs on 41. The third finding of fact is that this establishment, according to the BZA, will not impede the normal and orderly development and improvement of the surrounding property. I believe that's incorrect. I believe it will impede the development of the property to the south of this. It's going to block the view. If there's some signage that would be acquainted with that, or if there's other buildings that may fit in there, I think the sign is going to be it would not be a good use there, and it's also going to be an eyesore on 41, which we do not need. That's all.
Okay, and like I said, the BZA did have a favorable recommendation. I disagree. I think that, we have some of these in different locations. I really personally don't see it as an impediment to anything. Sean, if you have any comments or...
One of the other things that Lamar offers, and we take advantage in my hometown of Maryville, and many of you may or may not know, I sit on the other side of the dais in Maryville, and probably done that for 21 years. We've got about 13 of these running in Maryville. We offer space available advertising to the community, so if all 8 slots are not sold out, and there is something that the town of St. John wants to promote, we will put that copy up for you. I just had an inquiry from the city of Hobart. They're having a police hiring application process. We're going to put an artwork up for that, no charge to the city of Hobart. We've done it in Crown Point, we've done it in Griffith, we've done it in Maryville, Sherrville. These have been very successful, not only for the communities from an economic development standpoint, but promoting your business community. The businesses love the flexibility of the digital where they can have artwork up. We had the very first ad campaign we ran, we had with Bozak Auto. And every time Bozak's 10-second slot came up, there was a different car. You can load all kinds of artwork into a library, and it's all electronic through our Knox Center out of Baton Rouge. And every time your slot comes up, different artwork can pop up on that digital. So it's been very, very successful program.
And I'm sure there's a lot of businesses that would greatly
Yes.
appreciate that. All right, thank you, Sean. Could we consider the special exemption for the use of the construction of the billboard on the US 41 overlay? Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
A second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Beth, if we could have a roll call, please?
Gerald Swatz?
No.
Mike Bovat?
Yes,
Wayne Pondinas?
Yes.
Ann Oster?
Yes.
motion carries 3-1.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Sean. Item 8, consider cash escrow in the amount of $5,000 for the gates of St. John, Unit 24A. There was a favorable recommendation from the Plan Commission.
I can touch on that, Mr. President. So, as part of the subdivision control ordinance, when a final plat is approved, a surety amount is required to be posted. Adam McAlpine, the town engineer who reviewed this project, recommended a bond amount of $5,000. Steve Kill provided a cash escrow in that amount, and that was approved at the Plan Commission level. The ordinance requires that it just gets accepted at the town council level.
Thank you for that, Ashley. Any other questions or comments for Ashley? All right, do I have a motion to consider the cash escrow?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Beth, could we have a roll call?
Gerald Swatz?
No.
Mike Bovat?
Yes,
Wayne Pondinas?
Yes.
Ann Oster?
Yes.
motion carries 3-1. Item 8, reports and correspondences. Town council?
Just I had a couple questions, I guess. First of all, why was this meeting changed from a study session to an actual regular council meeting? Why do we need to have 3 council meetings in a 2-week span here? I guess is my first question.
Billy, you want to?
Yeah, at any time, the council president can choose to change it to a regular meeting. That was his choice, and that's why it was called.
So why do we need 3 within the next 2 weeks?
Because we have three meetings worth of business to go over, Jerry. And things that are happening overnight in between and everywhere else.
So we have a special meeting that's called for the 23rd, I believe.
Yes.
So that business couldn't be handled on the 30th?
It was a possibility but to avoid any kind of conflict and to ensure that we got that taken care of in a timely fashion, we felt that we wanted to expedite that and not miss anything getting accomplished before the end of the year.
So is there an ordinance coming that you're concerned that I might vote no on the 23rd?
I'm not really concerned how you vote, Jerry. I mean, you're an elected official, so no, that wasn't in my thoughts.
I mean, if there's an ordinance coming and it requires a unanimous vote to get it approved, and you're concerned
I
about it.
didn't mean to interrupt, and I think Mike was gonna get to it, in his correspondence, but the 23rd meeting, does have a special reason, and.
But, yeah,
I can go
and
ahead
I'll
and
comment on
elaborate
that. There was one other thing that was kind of like, we were, and it just,
Well, a phone call to me would have been pretty simple to get an idea of what my feelings were. I mean, 2 meetings to call out, it's just a lot of busyness at the holiday time. You're gonna ask people to come out for a second meeting. It's during the day when the public isn't gonna be around. I guess my concern, and I guess others' concern is that, yeah, are you trying to hide things, I guess, is the big question.
I don't think anyone's trying to hide things. I mean, these are televised, they're recorded, and if you look back at any other meetings at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, once every 6 meetings you have more than 3 people. So to say that we're trying to keep anyone out, we're hitting the same attendance.
It's no different than when you served in the prior administration, you guys had study sessions, or you did special meetings. It's no different.
Jerry,
There's nothing to hide.
I can say they asked me to move the 30th and combine it with the 23rd, and I said we could not do that because we have additional appropriations and like the year end.
That I understand. I
Right.
understand the reason for the 30th.
Right,
So,
yeah. So that, saying they had to keep the 30th, that's my fault because we have financial business that we have to take care of, which I know you know, but the 30th is me, so.
We didn't mean to impose upon you as an elected official for having an extra meeting. We
I
did
guess
not. That's not
transparency is the
intended.
question. It's not a matter of imposing. I'm in town, I'm retired, I've got nothing to do, especially during the mornings when you have these meetings. It's just a question whether you're allowing
Well, this is-
the public to see what's going to happen before it happens, that's all.
Yeah,
Beth, when were these meetings noticed?
I'd have to look back, but it was.
Well, I know I didn't know until yesterday evening that this meeting was actually changed to a regular council meeting. I was assuming that this was a study session until I opened my email yesterday at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the evening, so.
Well, I mean, but with your experience, you're able to jump from a study to a regular meeting anyways. So,
all right, thank you for that, Jerry.
Okay.
Any comments from my colleagues? Ann?
Yeah,
or-
I'd like to make a comment. Mike, I don't know if you can hear me. But earlier in this meeting, I believe that the accounts payable voucher was passed, and Mr. Sweats voted no, but that was payroll supplies. And you voted not to pay your people? That's kind of ridiculous. And that's why I think is one of the reasons why we had this meeting, so we can get our employees paid. And, anybody can vote how they want, but I'm all for paying my employees.
All right, thank you for that, Wayne. Anything else?
No, that's that. Oh, I want to thank Evan from First Group that's in the audience for all the work that he's done on Kyleman 93rd, the 93rd and the 41 project. He's a gentleman and a scholar, and he really did a nice job working with the town. I appreciated all his hard work. Thank you, Evan.
Evan, your efforts are greatly appreciated. I don't know, it was a little jarbled there. Don't know if you heard all that, but.
No, it's good.
Okay. Okay. I know you do. Thank you, Wayne. Yeah, and again, back to the December 23rd meeting. On December 23rd, we're going to have a special guest, Mr. Del Mayo. He is the new owner of the Kmart property. He'll be speaking personally on the project that we've been working on for well over a year. And that was one of the reasons, like I said, this is going to be a real fortunate thing for the town of St. John, a milestone, and that's going to be happening on December 23rd. Absolutely positive. Item B, town manager.
At this time, no other report other than to wish the residents happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
Thank
I
you.
just have something real fast. Just if anybody, the Christmas in the Park is going very, very well. I was fortunate enough to work there Monday night from 4 to 8, checking off time slots for pictures, and it's just really, it's amazing. The Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus are so good with the kids, and if you guys haven't been out there, any residents, I strongly suggest you go out there and visit with them. They are just, they're great, and our trees are beautiful. Hats off to you guys. I mean, I was amazed how, I wish you guys would come and do my trees at home, please. But yeah, it's just great. It's such a good, positive thing for the town. Everybody really was so appreciative that night. So if you haven't been out there, the Grinch is going to be there this Saturday. I heard he's really, really good and funny, so. Oh,
Well,
thanks again, guys. Yeah.
yeah, I'll be there Saturday. I've been informed by the wife that our granddaughters are going, so I guess we got to see the Grinch. So, item C, clerk treasurer.
Yep, like Ann mentioned, Saturday will be our last day of Christmas in the Park. It's our Merry Grinchmas night, so we'll have the Grinch, Mrs. Claus, Santa, Republic Services. They were kind enough to bring the Grinch on their garbage truck, so I know a lot of the kids love to see him arrive on the garbage truck. We also have, it's a 360 camera that you can go on, and it circles like this and gets kind of family photos. So that's kind of a fun addition. And then we have 2 food vendors, one that's serving kind of southern home-cooked meals like mac and cheese and brisket and things of that nature, and desserts. So I think Saturday should be a great night. So come out and visit us. Billy, you had asked, we noticed this meeting, the change from the study session to the special meeting on December 3rd. I was able to look that up, but I think that's all I have.
It's been out there a couple weeks. Yes.
Yeah, we received it December 3rd, and it was noticed December 3rd.
All right, thank you, Beth. Item 9, adjournment. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
A second?
I'll second.
Beth, roll call.
Gerald Swatz?
Yes.
Christian Jorgensen? Oh, he's absent. Skip that. Mike Bovat?
Yes.
Wayne Pondinas?
Yes.
And Ann Oster.
Yes.